In this video, I'm going to show you real text conversations I've had to turn cold leads into $2,000 paying customers. Now, this is more specifically for a sneaker reselling offer, but it doesn't matter what you sell. Any sort of info product or coaching program can go along with these frameworks and scripts that I'm going to go over. I'm going to show you everything from the outreach text to booking the call to actually the point where the customer pulls out their credit card and pays for a high ticket program like this. So watch this video to the end if you're an online coach or selling any sort of info product, because you're going to be able to see the exact scripts I use and be able to plug them into your own business to start booking more calls and making more money. All right, so I have 4 real examples from inside of my business that I'm going to show you guys, and each of them are kind of a different scenario so you guys can really get the full picture here. Now, before I go into them, what my funnel looks like. If you guys have watched my past videos, you know this probably, but if you're new to the channel, what my funnel looks like for this offer is we are pretty much running all our traffic cold, Facebook ads to an Instagram page. They go to a landing page and they put in their contact info to join a free Discord, right? So it's a free Discord funnel, and that's where we get our leads from. So they put in their info, name, email, phone number. That's how I'm able to get their phone numbers and actually be able to reach out to them to engage in conversation, right? So that's what the funnel looks like. Now, first example I'm going to show you is probably one of the more straightforward scripts that I've, kind of came across here. And why I want to show you this one first is because this is not ordinary, right? When you're outreaching cold traffic, and you're trying to get a hold of people and you're trying to, see if there's someone you can help and get them on a call and pay for something, it's not going to be ordinary to just have a very straightforward script that flows beautifully, right? So what I did is I broke up each section into kind of what this looks like. So outreach, you're going to see outreach through all 4 of these examples is all pretty much the same or very similar. So what the outreach looks like on this is saying, hey, it's Aiden from ZNA. Saw you recently joined our free Discord. And then boom, I hit them with something that'll actually get them to respond, right? We've been helping a few resellers lock in better suppliers and buyers to move sneakers in bulk and grow their business. Want me to send a video breakdown of how that works. So instead of just saying, hey, did you get in the free Discord all good? They have no reason to respond to that, right? But if I send them something like this where I'm giving them an extra thing, then it's like, okay, they have a reason to respond. And this guy, he didn't even respond right away. Had to hit him up again. And then he responded, got in the video. Then from there, it's discovery, right? I'm finding out if I can help this guy, right? So this guy was, again, straightforward, very easy. Are you a sneaker reseller already? You're just starting out, sold a few pairs. Oh, nice. When did you start? And before this guy even kind of engaged in more conversation, he was like, I'm going to watch the video. Now, if a lead says they're going to watch the video, what this video is this is pretty much a VSL, right? It's giving them tons of value, but it's also showing them results and like being like, hey, if you want help from us, like text me back or book a call or whatever. So this guy just watched the video and then was like, hey, I'm interested in joining the team, right? So from there, when I already know someone, they have interest, I don't know this guy's capital situation or anything like that really yet, but I can figure that out on a first setting call, right? So this guy has interest. So from there, it's all about coordinating the call. And then as you can see, when I talked about coordinating the call, this guy did not respond for a while. As you can see, I texted him on the 16th in the morning and he didn't respond until my third follow-up on the 17th in the afternoon, right? So sometimes that happens and he hit me back. He was like super busy. Can we schedule a call tomorrow? I was like, keep in mind, this is just a 5 to 10 minute call. We scheduled for tomorrow. Then from there, booked him in on a sales call because this guy was qualified. So the pre-call process, very straightforward. Send them another kind of like pre-call asset. This was an inner circle interview. This was an interview from a student who had tons of success in our program. Got him that interview. He said, just finished it. Man, that's what I want to be. Not run this as just a side hustle, but run this as a full-on business. From there, I knew this was going to be a generally easy close because it just all lined up perfectly, right? The outreach, one follow-up he took, and then he responded. Then he watched the video right off the bat. We had to coordinate the first call. Then we booked in the sales call. And then from there, he went ahead and paid, right? So that's a super easy example. Now, the next example, as you can see by the length of it, is probably the opposite of a super easy example, right? So I'm going to go through this. I'll kind of go quick through like outreach and discovery, and then I'll kind of get into like some of the stuff that came up with this. So this, I called for this example, tons of objection handling, because we had tons of objection handling before the call, on the call, and even after the call, right? So This guy, he opted in for our sales asset. It was just like a sourcing strategies guide. So I sent it to him. Then I get into discovery, right? Are you a sneaker reseller already? You're just starting out. I've been reselling for part-time for about a year. I consider myself, pretty new. Oh, how's the experience been? You have any goals? Blah, blah, blah. Now, this guy didn't really have this guy had a little bit of pain with the learning curve, but I was like, I could probably go a little bit deeper in here. So I asked him about goals, and he was like, I got overextended last year, bought stuff that, didn't sell well. So then for me, that's a perfect time to coordinate the call, right? Like if you want, we could jump on a quick phone call sometime today. 2025 have helped a lot of resellers grow and improve their sourcing and selling strategies. It'd be cool to learn more and see if I might be able to help you. He was like, that sounds good. Boom. We coordinated the call, right? So what you want to do in discovery is you want to figure out either a pain point or like a growth point. And then what you can do when you pitch the call is you can pitch that pain point or growth point. If the person has a pain point, like let's not even take this from my perspective. Let's take this from maybe you saw an offer to a fitness coaching offer. Let's say they're trying to lose weight and they've been stuck 10 pounds overweight for the last 3 months. Be like, I've helped a lot of people lose 10 pounds, in a 3-month span, blah, 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 blah. Let me get on a call and see if I might be able to help you, right? So you're just taking their pain point, plugging in the call. So we coordinated the call, and then this is when things got a little crazy. I booked in the sales call, but on this call, he was like, this was a guy that had pretty much some bad experiences with some like similar style like coaching programs in the industry before. Now, obviously, like I believe ours is the best, but he had some bad experiences. So when you're dealing with that, it can be very hard to get a prospect to turn around and actually want to buy from you because like they have such a bad taste in their mouth, right? It's like if you have a bad ex, right? You might not want to date somebody right away or something like that. And you might be scared to get in a relationship. Same thing, right? So with this guy, I sent him the pre-call asset. And then we actually did a webinar in the free Discord. So we came to that. But then he kind of hit me with an objection. He was like, I definitely learned a little bit more about the group. I'll be honest, though, it seems very similar to what I experienced, right? So I know that it's not similar to what he experienced because, I've heard different people come from those programs, right? So, but I can't just be like, dude, it's not similar. I have to feel him out because like I can understand that, right? It sounds similar on the outside. So I was like, yeah, man, we'll talk a lot more Friday. What makes me confident is what you experience is I've just had other people come from both groups and tell me personally that ours is better. And that's just me being straight up. But obviously, we'll talk more Friday. It's like, I appreciate your transparency. And then he hit me with this. He was like, would it be possible to get connected with one or two members who came from either groups? And this is where I pulled out probably one of the best plays I've done is I actually got him in touch with one of the students in our program that came from the other groups that had a great experience with us. So here's another thing. This only works if what you're selling is good, right? You need to have a good info product. If you are not getting people results with whatever thing you're selling, like you're screwed. So I got him in touch with that member. Then I sent him another video, and then boom, right? We got on the call from there. We got on the Zoom call, and on the Zoom call, he just wanted a couple days to think about it. We were raising price a couple days from then. So just wanted a couple days to think about it. He said he would let me know by the time we closed shop, which is when we were raising price. So I had to go through that. And then I had to send him like a call recording from the night before because I wanted some more examples. And then again, just checking with him every single day. He didn't always respond. We literally talking about like a snowstorm that came up, right? And then I had to hit him a couple times. I was like, look, we got like one more day left. Any more questions for me as we have like one more day to get started? And he was like, hey, I was planning to text you. I think I'm ready to go in for the first month. So obviously this guy ended up splitting it up into 2 months, but he went in for the first month and then he finished out. It was a $2,000 in full after he did finish. So as you can see, like I had to follow up to get him to close. I had to handle tons of objections, both on the setting call before the sales call, and then also on the sales call. And overall, like this part was easy this time, but this part wasn't easy, right? So you're going to run into that. Like if you're selling something online, there's probably another thing online that also is similar, whether it's a training or a mentorship or a course or whatever. So you're going to have to deal with that. And that's kind of why I included that example. Now here's an example that was also took a little bit more work, but it was very easy. And this is a pretty much a cold lead turned into a lay down close. And when I say lay down close, this guy got on the sales call with his credit card ready. Like we didn't even have to do anything. But he started off completely cold, right? So So yeah, that's kind of, what this looks like. And why I'm showing you this is because to kind of show you what you might need to do to make this be able to happen. Right. So again, same outreach as normal here, got him the video. And then this guy, he actually saw our ad that same day and then messaged us on Instagram. But his Instagram message was kind of like a little bit of like a bot-ish message. So I just got him in the free Discord. So he was telling me all about himself. And then he literally just came out and like poured his like goal to me. He's like, I want to make an additional 500 to 1,000, not trying to replace my income. I know that's doable with the right help. So I was like, okay, like what have you struggled with, in order to not hit that on your own? Again, this is just deep discovery here. He told me exactly what he was struggling with. And then of course from here, this guy seemed like so easy so far. I wanted to get a little bit more info. So I asked about capital. Turns out this guy already knew what I was talking about. He was like, if you're asking about like the inner circle, he must have looked through the Discord real quick. He's like, I have a steady job, people backing me. I just need to kind of know what number wise we're looking at to get a target, right? And then I was just like, oh man, that's funny that you knew that already. Like, let's just jump on a quick call. We coordinated a call. Then I booked him in on a sales call. Now, what I didn't show you, because it probably would have been 10 screenshots, is this guy from the time we booked a call, it was Monday, and then we booked a call, I think it was for like Wednesday, but that Tuesday I had another webinar in the free Discord. So from the time we booked the call to getting on the sales call, he was inside of the whole webinar. So that completely warmed him up. He watched our VSL, which warmed him up even more. And throughout that 2-day span before the sales call, he was asking me like questions about the program, about reselling, about his business, about all that sort of stuff. And I was actually answering them. I wasn't just brushing him off being like, oh, like I'll get to that when we get on our call. Like I was genuinely caring and answering them. And when we got on that sales call, maybe I'll show the recording one day. It was like a 10-minute call. We just had to work through some financing stuff and he paid like easily. We didn't need to do any discovery or pitch on the sales call. Like he was just ready. So that goes to show you, obviously I didn't show all the screenshots here of that, but sometimes you have to do some dirty work before you actually close a lead, especially when it's a cold lead, right? So that was a really cool example. And this last example here, why I'm showing you this is sometimes you're going to have to follow up with your leads a lot, especially if they're cold. You don't want to just give up on a lead because they don't respond the first time, because they don't respond the second time, they don't respond the third time. I followed up with this person 4 times before they responded, right? So here's what this looked like. The initial outreach message, the follow-up, then this person then applied to work with us, didn't answer, send a question mark again. And then I noticed that this person was in our webinar, right? So I asked like what they thought of the call. They didn't respond to that. Then I hit them with another question mark. And they were like, I was like, did you even like it or something like that? They're like, yes. And then I was like, it was cool to see you in the call. Like you learned some things. They're like, oh, I actually joined late. So I took a look at the recap and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to post it up soon. And then I circled back on what I asked before, because I asked about the inner circle, because they applied, right? So I circled back. I was like, when are you free to get on a quick phone call so I can see if you'd be a good fit for it? They're like, I'm open anytime. Now, here's where things got a little tricky. I got on the setting call and then this person asked me like a ton of questions. They were like super skeptical. And we actually got down to talking about the price of the program. Well, we usually don't talk about the price of the program on the setting call. So this person knew the price, but they weren't going to have like a large sum of money for reselling until like it was like 2.5 weeks down the line, right? So this person finally got the money a couple weeks later. We had booked in a call for that much in advance, right? So what I did before that call is I would see if they would get approved for financing because they wanted to do financing. And I followed up so much because we had a 2.5 week gap. If you're not following up, and I didn't show all of it, but if you're not following up with the person, if you book a call long in advance, you're cooked. Like they're going to no show 100%. So I was sending her assets. I was, asking her questions, checking in, seeing how she was doing. And then it ended up being a pretty easy pay in full, right? So this was a long pre-call process. So as you could see though, from these 4 examples, is like no lead is ever going to be the same. Anybody that tries to tell you that you need to follow like a certain script, like you can follow like an outline kind of, but no lead is going to be the same. They're all going to be different. So you need to be prepared for that. That's why I tried to show you guys like 4 different like examples here so you can kind of see how this works. So like I said, if you are, an online coach and you have like a sales team or something like that, have them incorporate, some of the things that I've used here. This works really well if someone's coming in warm, cold, whatever it may be. And it's just a great system and gives you some good examples of things to follow. So if you took any value from this video, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment with any questions. All of that means a lot. And if you are an online coach or sell some sort of info product and you want help scaling and selling more of them and getting help with like these type of systems I'm going over here, book a call with me down below in the description. I'll kind of see if I can help you out. It's free. Like, I'm not charging you anything until I actually know about your business. It's more going to be like an audit. I'll see how I can help and then talk to you from there. And I'll also put my Instagram if you want to DM me with any questions that you have. So subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.